Okay, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Just going to show you how I fly with a firearm and how I go about it and things of that nature. And we'll get into it. Like I said, this is how I do it and been doing it for years and never had any hiccups with TSA or the airline or nothing like that. So the reason I got my hand over this because the first part that we're going to go over is the case and what kind of case is TSA approved and how you should go about it and things of that nature. But the reason why I got my hand covered is because I usually put my name, and I'm gonna peel that off right now just so I could I'm just gonna peel that off right now. I usually put my name and my phone number on that little spot right there where it says ILR. That's the name of the company that makes this case. But I usually have my name and my phone number on the outside of the case. And let me show you on the other side too. Give me 1 second here. Peel that off too, because I don't need to have that on there for the video. And so what I do is take my little label maker and put my name and phone number on both sides, and then put a piece of packing tape over the top of it, and that way it won't get rubbed off or anything like that. I put it on that side, and then I put it on this side right here. So I'll have just basically straight up just my name and my phone number. That's it. So if it gets lost or gets, you know, mixed up in whatever, they can just easily know who owns it and who's in their phone number. And I put a piece of that nice clear packing tape over it so it stays down real nice and tight. So that's the first thing you do, that I do. This is all about what I do, because I don't want to say what to do, because if I tell you guys something and you get it wrong, then y'all be come back to me saying, you said this. I'm just telling you this is how I go about it, and I've been flying with firearms for many years, and I have no problems. Before I get started, shout out to SC14 gun cleaner, great gun cleaner made in USA, biodegradable, safely removes carbon, lead, and copper, safely clean the things you love. And this is a cleaner, so you would have to lube afterwards. I'll put a link in the description if you want to save a few bucks, a discount code, and a link to their store. And shout out to Vetter Holsters, sending me all these products and the holster I'm going to be carrying for this trip, and I'll let you guys see that in a minute. Again, I'll have their link to their store, and I have a discount code, and you can go by there if you want to buy a holster. Very good company. Both companies are great. So first thing you want to do is get you a good case, and just let you know those little Glock plastic cases are not TSA approved. TSA approved cases have to be, you have to have two slots to lock your case up. As you can see, there's one right there, and then there's one right here. And so that's how that works. You can have more than two, but the minimum is two. You can have four, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. You can have many as you want, but the minimum is two. The reason why it's called chewed up, it was under my bed. My dog, when he was a puppy, was chewing on this thing. But yeah, so I got this little ILR case. It's nothing special. Little, got it just, I think, off Amazon or something, and it works fine. It's a 1 pistol case. To set up. So I'm gonna go through what I got inside of there and how I pack it out and what I bring with me and things of that nature. But let's go over the first part, is the locks. Now, some people use these locks to just loop them through here, loop them there. I don't do that. I use this lock to lock. When I travel, I have my slide open up and have this going through the slide and through the mag well locked up. So these locks are handy, because I use them for travel. Okay, so now you will see this out there in the market, these kind of locks like this, master lock, and then it'll say travel Sentry TSA accepted. Now that's key language right there, TSA accepted. That means TSA will accept it. Doesn't mean that you have to buy this type of lock, okay? Some people like the combination because they don't lose the key, and then they can just remember the combination or whatever it may be. Something like that. And these things are not cheap. You can see this. I bought this many years ago. I never even used it. $12.99 combination. And like I said, it says TSA accepted. Doesn't mean you have to get this type of lock, okay? You'll see those kind of locks on the market. And then you'll see locks like this. People use these two, again, similar to that. Only difference is this is a metal loop right there, and this is a cable cut resistant type flexible shackle type zipper lock, whatever. So people use these. Now for every hole you have on your case, TSA is going to want to have a lock on it. That's why I don't want to have that many holes, because I don't want to have to buy locks. So if you had four slots, you need to have four locks in each hole. And the reason why that has to be because they wouldn't know if your box was tampered with or something like that. So you would have to have that set up. You have to have a lock for each hole that you have. Bottom line, you have to have a lock for each hole that you have in your case. And that's like a security measure, because they wouldn't know if someone cut a lock off or something like that. So that's just something I want to make sure we understand on that. And then now, so you'll see these kind of locks, and then you'll see just standard pad locks and stuff like that with a key. That's fine. And this is what I rock with. So I have these little, like, not even expensive locks, and you know, I put one on each one. Boom, one there. Boom, one there, and I take the key out and keep the key on me, and that's pretty much how I roll. Just two locks, just two little standard little padlocks. Because like I said, you're going through the airport. I don't need to have nothing bulletproof and all that kind of stuff. It should be fine. And if not, you know, that's on the airport and that's on the airline, not on me. But these two locks have been doing me justice for many years. Never used this one, never used these. So, but you can, and I've seen people use these. I don't suggest using these, but people do use them. So let's see there. Now let's see what I got in the case. And like I said, you know, for each slot, you need to have a lock. Now, you probably can get away with it, but that's just the way I was trained up on it. And usually what happens is I travel with, wherever I'm flying to, I will fly whatever airline. I'll print out the airline regulations and highlight the portions that are about firearms and have that in here. And I usually stick it behind here. As you can see, I think this is from one of my last flights. Let's see what this is. This is probably the airline. Oh no, this is the bill of sales for my firearm that I travel with. I usually just stick it back there. I don't know why I do that, but I do that. But I believe the airline information is underneath here, or did I take it out? I took it out. It doesn't really matter. So what I usually do is print out, for example, I'm going on Southwest. I'll print out Southwest's airline rules about traveling with a firearm, and then I'll print out the current TSA traveling with a firearm rules. So not just any TSA rules. I'm gonna look for the most current one, 2023 edition, 2024 if there's one, or 2025, which I doubt. The most current one's probably gonna be somewhere around 2022 and 2023 or something like that. So I'll print out the current TSA firearm regulation rules and have that in my case, and then one on me. So the airline rules and the TSA rules will be inside of here, and I'll have an actual physical copy on me, because you'll be surprised how many people that work for TSA and airlines don't know their own rules. And it'd be nice if you had that documentation on you to pull that out and be like, hey, look, I did everything what I was supposed to say. So once you got that, then you're pretty much good. You can start packing your stuff. But now, the rules with the ammunition varies from different airlines on how much you can carry and how you can carry it. Now, the way I do it, I carry it in the actual manufacturer case like this. Some airlines, like I think like Southwest is 8 pounds. They go by pounds, so you need to weigh your stuff and see how much it is. I think 8 or 9 pounds is usually the maximum you can carry, unless you got some special approval. But I think it's by poundage, it's not by round count, it's by weight. And I think it's 8 pounds. So this is 100 rounds of 124 grain. And I'm just gonna drop that right in there like that, boom. And that's what I'm gonna carry. And the reason why you say, well, why are you carrying that? Because if I get in town and I wanna go to a gun range, and gun range ammo is usually marked up. And so I'd rather just bring my own ammo just to shoot off 100 rounds. And if I want to shoot more, I just buy more. But I always bring my own ammo, especially if I'm traveling to a state I know has expensive ammo prices. Okay, so moving right along. What I have in the case is, let's see, I got the, now let's get into the firearm part and all that stuff. So what I usually travel with is, what I'm traveling with is gonna be my Gen 3 Glock 19, so to speak, build. I chopped the grip off, made it into a 26, and got the Strike Industry G-slide on there, light slide with serrations, optic ready and all that, you know, Glock barrel, everything else is Glock, and then TLR 7A. And so what I would do is I'm gonna travel with this. But now I'm gonna tell you, when you travel with you can't travel with ammunition in your magazine. So this would have to be dumped out, and I would suggest putting these defensive rounds in a plastic Ziploc bag, and you can just lay it flat all out, so that way you won't be so bulky. And then you have your defensive rounds in there, or you can just have a defensive round old box you have and put them in the box. So you can travel with your ammunition in Ziploc bags. That's one way you can carry your ammo. Another way you can carry your ammo is this way, in the actual manufacturer box. Okay, you can carry it like that, and you also can carry it in these little cases like this. Okay, but you cannot have loose ammo, not just out or in mags. That's a violation. So it has to be in this kind of box, the manufacturer box, this kind of box, or in the Ziploc bag, a locked Ziploc bag, and then you good. But you just can't have loose ammo in your case, okay? It's because they're gonna open up and look at it. So this is approval. This is a good way to carry it. This is a good way to carry it, and the Ziploc bag is a good way to carry it. And then once you get everything in there, some of the items I carry: one mag for the gun, one backup mag. I carry a little loader. I carry earplugs. Okay. I always have sunglasses, so I got eye protection. And if you went to the range, that's not a big deal. I got a sight tool key for my optic little tool, so in case I gotta make an adjustment. Keep a little flashlight, the small little flashlight, okay? Sometimes I don't carry a light on my weapon, but at least if I had this, I can have that on my hand, and I can always flip it around and, work it like that, So if I got my gun, I could be, I learned that from a guy, my neighbor. So I'm like this, and then when I need my light, I can just go like this, you know what I'm saying? And then I don't need it, then you do need it, don't need it, then you can just flip it over your hand. So I learned that from a Navy SEAL guy. So take a hair scrunchie, clip it on there, and you can maneuver. You got to practice though, like anything else. And then I usually carry a highlighter and a Sharpie and a little pad to write down a few notes or something like that. I don't know if you have to write something down. So I keep that in there. These are the items that I keep in here. And like I said, I usually would have this ran through here, locked out, slide like this inside of the case like that. And I always have like a little rag. I travel with a little rag. So it don't have to be all neat, just as long as it fits. Just get it up in there, just get it in there. And like I said, do not travel with your ammunition in your magazine. That's a big no-no. So make sure you dump your ammo out your magazine, and that'll keep you safe from TSA and all that kind of stuff, getting violation and stuff like that. So that's how I get down. That's how I travel. And then once you get all that in there, and when they inspect it, these are the inspection cards right here. I'm showing my old address. It doesn't matter because I don't live there no more. But this is with Southwest, as you can see, and it's a declaration tag, basically firearms declaration tag. And what they do is they write down your name, and then there's a PNR number, your address, and then your phone number, and then where you're flying to and from, and all that, and the date, and then that's basically it. And you sign the back of it. This one I actually didn't even sign, so they didn't do their job right. I didn't sign the back of this one, but this one I did sign. And it's just basically a declaration saying all the, your firearm chambers are free of ammunition. The magazine clip has been removed. See, they don't want it. They don't want nothing inside of the gun. Loaded magazines or clips are packaged to prevent accidental activation of the primer. So then the unloaded firearms inside of a hard-sided locked container, and one alone am in possession of the key or combination. So only one person's supposed to have it. My total allowance of checked luggage contains no more than 11 pounds of ammunition. So there you go, 11 pounds of ammunition, and it's securely packaged in an appropriate container. I also understand that the state laws vary regarding registration, possession, and carriage of weapons, and I acknowledge that I am reasonable for knowing and following the firearm laws of the states to and through which I'm traveling. So that's pretty much it. A declaration card, and they'll tape this on to the outside box of your case. They tape that on there, like really heavily tape it on there, and then that way when it's going through the process through the TSA stuff, they'll know that it's been inspected, and then they'll put it on the belt and it'll come out, and you can just get your gun when you get to your destination. So It's pretty straightforward. And I'm gonna drop a video link of me going through TSA. Matter of fact, let me do it right now. Stand by. All right, this is me going through TSA. Okay, so that was just a little short video. If you go in my video library, I got videos. I got long form videos of me doing flying videos, and I have shorts up also. That was just me going through TSA. We're going to Colorado for that particular video. So yeah, man, this is pretty much how I travel, man, with my firearm. Like I said, it's a little sloppy right now, but yeah, basically you can definitely get everything up in there. You know, it's no problem. And like I said, I'll run the lock through there like that, and then have it in here like this, and then I'll have my 2 locks on there, boom, boom, like that, and that's pretty much how it's gonna go. That's pretty much how it's gonna look. And then, so that's all you wanna have in there. And this is my little Vetter bag. I love this Vetter bag right here, made in America, great company. So what I'm gonna travel with for as far as that, I'm gonna have in my luggage, I'll have, shout out to Ace Tac sending me this minimalist IFAC system right here, tourniquets, stop bleed, all that, compression, emergency blanket, a few other little items up in here, a multi-tool thing with a little paracord and all kind of cool stuff up in here. A lot of neat stuff up in here. Burn gel, nitrile gloves, quick clock, bleeding control dressing. So, you know, just something just in case something pops off, and of course you got to have your tourniquet. You got your tourniquet. So everyday carry tourniquet, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ace Tac sending this out. And I'll have this I can go through TSA with this, but I'll just probably stick it in my little backpack carry on or something like that. I'll have that. And then I'll have my Vetters side tuck with the sidecar right here. And this works very well with this firearm right here. I'll let you guys see how that look. And now, and this, what you want to put this in your luggage or carry on. This is legal. You can put this anywhere. You just can't have any gun parts, or you can't have a magazine in your check-on. You can't have none of that kind of stuff. Can't be in your check-on. It has to be in this gun box. Anything gun related. But you can put this in your luggage. This is okay. This is okay. You just can't have magazines in your regular luggage. That gets you kicked off the plane. So just make sure you understand that no gun parts are allowed in your regular standard luggage. Anything gun related, other than a holster, has to be in there. And I can stand behind that, because I looked that up and called many airlines, and they said no, holsters are fine. It's just a piece of plastic. Just can't have no magazine in it. So I'll have this out there carrying this, and that's how that'll look right there with the 19 round backup mag and a 10 round plus 2, so that's 12 rounds in the gun. And that's how I'll have that. So that's gonna be my travel. This is my travel setup, and I like traveling with this gun because it's a Gen 3, it's clear weapon, and it's got a great trigger though. Look at this. This is my original Glock, so it's got a lot of rounds to it. So I'll have this. I like this firearm, and I like because it's short, so you can conceal it better. And something happens, traveling, get lost, or have to use it on the road and it gets confiscated. I had it for a few years. It's not a big deal. It wouldn't be like, I would hate to lose like a Glock 47 or something like that, or a 19X. So why not travel with this baby right here? It makes a lot of sense. It make a good travel weapon. And I have options to carry that gun, because like I said, that's my original Glock 19. So I got this slide right here. This is the original slide right here. Glock 19 slide. This thing's a little dirty, huh? This is the original Glock 19 slide. So Glock sights, so if I could just carry it like that, but I say, what the heck, I might as well just carry with the optic. So, but let me know what you guys think, man. This is my setup for the flight. And like I said, the key thing you want to take from this is don't have any ammunition in your magazines, in your box. Like I prefer to travel with my slide open. Okay, I like that better. And you can put this in your luggage. You can put this in your luggage. Just don't have any gun parts. Like don't have this in your luggage. This would have to go in a gun box. You see what I'm saying? A barrel that would have to go in your gun box. Any gun part. This is not a gun part. This is an accessory. So you good with that. So I guess that's it, man. I just want to make sure we cover all those bases, man. And let me know what you guys think. Flying with a firearm, how you guys feel about that, you know, and have you done it? Tell me what your experiences are. But I have never had any hiccups, and this seems to get me home every time. And like I said, just be careful with how much ammunition you carry. I think they said 11 pounds. I usually just carry 100. I carry 100 rounds usually, and I just stay right at that number. That's enough to get me to the range without spending $30 for a box of ammunition or whatever. So, but if you got a bigger box, you know, and you can get as much ammo as you can, go for it. But 11, 100 rounds and then 2 mags of EDC, of defensive rounds. I mean, that's good enough for me because this is not going to be shot at this will be just like in case I have to, and this will be shot at the range wherever I get to my destination. So let me know what you guys think, man. Flying with a firearm. And any questions, drop them in the comment box, and let me know what you guys do, and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.